Josie Duggar hospitalized. Fans shocked by unexpected health crisis. In an unexpected turn of events that has sent shockwaves through the Duggar fan community, Josie Duggar, often the quieter member of one of America's most scrutinized families, has been hospitalized for health reasons. The news broke suddenly, igniting a storm of concern, speculation, and intense media scrutiny. Fans who have followed the Duggar family for years were left reeling as social media exploded with questions, prayers, and theories about the nature and severity of Josie's condition. This isn't merely another family update. It is a deeply human story that exposes the tension between private vulnerability and public expectation in a family that has lived under the spotlight for decades. At its core, this story underscores the precarious intersection of health, family responsibility, and public perception. For Josie Duggar, her hospitalization is more than a medical event. It becomes a narrative that fans dissect, analyze, and debate. The Duggar household, known for tightly controlled appearances, stringent faith-based expectations, and meticulously curated public personas, provides little room for private crises. Josie's current situation, therefore, is amplified, magnified, and scrutinized in ways that few ordinary families experience. The hospitalization illustrates how illness within this high-profile family is never solely personal. It becomes a public story, entwined with questions of responsibility, resilience, and relational dynamics. The timeline leading up to Josie's hospitalization provides key insights into the unfolding drama. In the weeks prior, sources reported subtle changes in Josie's behavior, moments of fatigue, slight absences from social activities, and cryptic social media posts hinting at struggle. These seemingly minor signals, often overlooked in everyday families, took on amplified significance under the public gaze, foreshadowing a crisis that would soon become unavoidable. Observers note that the careful maintenance of Duggar family image often masks real tensions and health struggles, making every revelation a dramatic pivot point in the family narrative. Once hospitalized, the situation quickly escalated into a story of high emotional stakes and complex family dynamics. Josie's medical team became the immediate focal point, providing constant monitoring and interventions that highlighted both the seriousness of her condition and the fragility of her health. Family members were reported to be at her side, navigating the delicate balance between providing emotional support, managing logistics, and addressing the ever-present media attention. The hospitalization did more than draw concern. It showcased the pressures inherent in being part of a family where every personal choice and experience is magnified under public scrutiny. Analyzing the family dynamics surrounding this health crisis reveals layers of influence, oversight, and negotiation rarely visible to outsiders. Decisions about treatment, public announcements, and social media disclosures involve careful orchestration, highlighting the tension between personal autonomy and collective familial control. In the Duggar context, every medical choice is entwined with broader considerations: faith, public perception, and family reputation. Josie's hospitalization therefore illuminates the intricate web of control, oversight, and emotional labor that governs high-profile family life, revealing both the resilience of individual family members and the structural pressures that shape their decisions. Public reaction to Josie's hospitalization has been intense and immediate. Social media platforms flooded with messages of empathy, prayers, and concern, alongside rampant speculation about the cause, severity, and implications of her medical situation. Fans dissected prior social media behavior, family statements, and appearances for signs of strain or warning. This intense scrutiny reflects a cultural phenomenon unique to families like the Duggars. The convergence of celebrity, ideology, and family narrative transforms private crises into public spectacles. Each development becomes fodder for analysis, commentary, and debate, amplifying both the emotional stakes and the narrative significance. The unfolding story follows a narrative arc reminiscent of classic storytelling. Early indicators of concern, a growing tension as symptoms or worries became more apparent, and a dramatic climax with hospitalization. Each stage enhances the emotional resonance, blending human vulnerability with the pressures of public visibility. Observers note that this narrative structure is not accidental. In families accustomed to media attention, even personal crises can be reframed in ways that echo larger themes of resilience, control, and drama. Josie's hospitalization, while deeply personal, also functions as a turning point in the ongoing public story of the Duggar family. From a medical perspective, the hospitalization emphasizes both urgency and complexity. Hospital staff provide continuous monitoring, diagnostics, and intervention, highlighting the seriousness of Josie's condition. Each medical decision carries weight, not only for immediate health outcomes, but also for long-term implications and family dynamics. In high-profile contexts, these decisions are rarely private. Every choice, tests, treatment plans, or updates, intersects with public expectation, family oversight, and social scrutiny, creating a unique convergence of pressure, responsibility, and visibility. Josie's experience underscores how health crises are magnified when ordinary life intersects with celebrity and public narrative. Culturally and socially, the situation takes on multiple layers of meaning. Within the Duggar family, illness is not merely a private matter, it intersects with symbolic, relational, and performative expectations. Family statements, social media updates, and public appearances serve dual purposes, conveying factual information and demonstrating resilience, faith, and adherence to family norms. The hospitalization thus functions as both a medical event and a public performance, highlighting the tension between vulnerability and image management that characterizes high-profile family life. Emotionally, the story resonates on multiple levels. Early signs of strain, subtle signals of fatigue, and the eventual hospitalization create a continuum of fear, hope, and concern. Josie's vulnerability is intensified by her visibility, amplifying the emotional weight for herself, her immediate family, and the public. Analysts note that the emotional landscape in such families is complex, where private suffering must navigate expectations of composure, faith, and decorum. This layering of personal vulnerability with social expectation intensifies the stakes, creating a narrative that is both deeply human and culturally resonant. Family reactions illustrate the delicate balance between care, emotional support, and public management. Parents and siblings face the dual responsibility of providing immediate support while navigating how to disclose updates publicly. Each conversation, each decision, and each public statement contributes to the layered narrative, revealing both genuine concern and the careful management of perception. Observers highlight how these dynamics expose the tensions between autonomy, oversight, and performative expectation that define Duggar family life. The broader implications extend beyond Josie herself, touching on the interconnected nature of health, media, and family cohesion. The hospitalization catalyzes cascading effects. Shifts in family focus, recalibration of daily routines, and heightened media attention. These ripple effects underscore how a single health event can have consequences far beyond its immediate context, influencing both the emotional equilibrium of the family and the public narrative surrounding it. The stakes, both personal and public, are simultaneously intimate and global in scope, reflecting the unique pressures of life under constant observation. Narratively, the situation highlights recurring themes that have defined Duggar life: resilience, scrutiny, and the tension between personal autonomy and structural control. Josie's experience is emblematic of a larger pattern in the family, where private choices intersect with public expectation, and ordinary crises become dramatic events under media gaze. Each update, each hospital visit, and each public appearance contributes to a multi-layered story of human vulnerability, relational complexity, and the pressures of living life in a spotlight that never turns away. Medical, emotional, and social dimensions intertwine, creating a narrative that is both compelling and instructive. Fans are drawn to the story not only because of concern for Josie's well-being, but also because it illuminates the broader mechanics of life, within a highly visible, tightly controlled family system. Observers note the simultaneous tension and resilience that defines such experiences. The family must navigate care, emotion, and public perception, all while maintaining cohesion, faith, and composure under pressure. As events continue to unfold, Josie's hospitalization serves as a catalyst for reflection on the fragility of health, the pressures of visibility, and the enduring importance of support networks in high-profile families. Every decision, every update, and every interaction contributes to a story that transcends the personal, offering insight into the broader dynamics that define life under relentless observation. The convergence of human vulnerability, family responsibility, and public scrutiny creates a narrative that is compelling, complex, and unforgettable, leaving audiences both empathetic and contemplative about the experience. Josie Duggar's health crisis reminds viewers that behind the carefully curated images, scripted appearances, and public performances lies a deeply human experience. A young woman navigating vulnerability, illness, and the intersection of private suffering with public expectation. Each hospital visit, each medical decision, and each moment of family care contributes to an unfolding story that captivates not just because of celebrity, but because of the universal themes of resilience, struggle, and human endurance. The unfolding narrative has created a sense of immediacy and intensity rarely seen in family-centered reality coverage. Fans, commentators, and analysts are watching closely, dissecting every piece of information and projecting potential outcomes. This convergence of observation and speculation magnifies the stakes, illustrating how personal crises in public families are simultaneously intimate and performative, private and public, emotional and structural. Josie's hospitalization, therefore, becomes a defining moment in the ongoing narrative of Duggar life, offering lessons about vulnerability, attention, and the human need for support under pressure. Even as hospital updates continue to emerge, the emotional resonance remains profound. Each disclosure, each social media post, and each family interaction contributes to the layered understanding of what it means to face a health challenge under intense scrutiny. Observers emphasize that the pressures Josie faces are unique. The intersection of youth, visibility, and familial expectation creates conditions that magnify every risk, every concern, and every emotional response. Her story is a testament to resilience, a mirror reflecting both the fragility and strength inherent in navigating life at the intersection of health and high-profile family dynamics. Fans continue to engage deeply, sending messages of hope, prayers, and encouragement, while media outlets dissect potential medical, relational, and social implications. The story exemplifies how private health events become public narratives in families like the Duggars, offering insight into the broader mechanics of attention, expectation, and control. Josie's hospitalization is more than an isolated event. It is a window into the emotional, structural, and social pressures that define life under relentless observation, revealing both vulnerability and strength in equal measure. The intensity of the situation is compounded by the interplay of past family dynamics, media scrutiny, and ongoing public engagement. Every prior appearance, every social media post, and every family interaction is reinterpreted through the lens of this crisis, illustrating how a single event can retroactively illuminate broader patterns of resilience, tension, and performance. Observers note that Josie's experience exemplifies the complex interplay between individual agency, family oversight, and the expectations of an engaged public, creating a story that is both captivating and instructive. Even as the hospital stay continues, the broader implications of Josie Duggar's situation unfold. Family routines are recalibrated, public interest intensifies, and emotional stakes remain high. Analysts suggest that the story underscores the fragility of carefully managed public images, the enduring power of familial loyalty, and the unpredictable nature of health crises in high-profile contexts. The convergence of private struggle and public scrutiny creates a narrative that is both dramatic and deeply human, leaving audiences engaged, reflective, and concern for the young Duggar at the heart of it all. The hospitalization of Josie Duggar ultimately serves as a profound reminder. In families under constant observation, every crisis becomes a story, every vulnerability a narrative, and every moment of care an event magnified for the world to witness. Observers continue to analyze, fans continue to respond, and the unfolding events continue to captivate, highlighting the extraordinary pressures, challenges, and resilience inherent in navigating life in the Duggar spotlight, where private moments rarely remain private, and every personal struggle carries the weight of public fascination. Thanks for watching. Josie Duggar's health crisis reminds viewers that behind the carefully curated images, scripted appearances, and public performances lies a deeply human experience. A young woman navigating vulnerability, illness, and the intersection of private suffering with public expectation. Each hospital visit, each medical decision, and each moment of family care contributes to an